anyways, happy Sunday. You guys, what a beautiful day, but a beautiful week. Like I literally cannot get over the weather we've had. Like it's insane. The colors, the weather, all the things. It's been so nice. I hope you've been all out enjoying the day with your family and just got some special time together no matter what we're up to. So we have an amazing speaker tonight, you guys. I feel so grateful to have met Lindsay during Isagenix. I don't even know when we met. I don't even know what year. She started in 2014. And so I feel like we met just after that. I feel like it was very quickly after we met at an event. And I'll never forget like just her excitement for Isagenix right from the start, and where she really saw a vision. She saw a vision. She caught a hold of her why right from the start, and she took off and never let go of that why. And I feel like it's so inspiring to me every single day to just watch her live her life out loud and continue to inspire so many other people while really making such a big impact, you guys. So she, when she fell in love with Isagenix in 2014, she was busy. I mean, I feel like this is so common for a lot of us. We start Isagenix and we have a lot going on, and I don't feel like that ever stops. But she was in a career as an eye doctor that she loved. And still to this day, if you ask her outside of this call, she will talk your ear off about how much she loves and loved being an eye doctor. She really did and was so passionate about it, but she was really wanting to pay off student debt. And I feel like that's something a lot of us can relate to, or have people that you will speak with in your Isagenix journey that will need to get rid of their student loans. She grew her Isagenix business in the pockets of her life while maintaining her career. She did, one of her first calls I ever listened to was how she fit this business into the pockets of her life while she was an eye doctor, literally doing half-hour increments, which is a whole different call for another day. But she literally did this business a half hour in the morning, half hour at lunch, half hour after, and then like some time when her kids went to bed. And she literally fit this into the pockets of her life in that way while maintaining, you know, her career and raising her girls and finding success with Isagenix along the way. She did decide to quit her job to stay at home with her daughters and focus on her Isagenix business. But her and Corey were both born and raised in Oregon. They met there. Then they both went to Ohio and got their doctorates there, which is so cute. I love that you guys did that together, and completed their medical degrees at Ohio State. They now live in Reno, Nevada, which is super fun. Corey is an anesthesiologist. And it's just so fun to watch you guys continue to grow your business while really living like such a special life that Isagenix has given you, right? So with all of that, she's an 8-star Golden Circle, 11-star Crystal Executive. Like, whoa, I can't even. That is so amazing. 11 personally enrolled Crystal Executives. I know you have others on your team that are in your downline, but that personal number is something that I think is so incredibly important and amazing and such a huge accomplishment. And I think tonight you guys are going to learn so much from her. She's still to this day right now, I should say currently, has 24 personally enrolled consultants that are active. Those are not ones that may have fallen off. Right now, currently, she has 24 active consultants. And I think that is something that I want you guys to know before we get into this, because she truly knows what she is speaking about. So Lindsay, welcome.
Thank you, Amanda. That was really kind. Way too kind. Thank you. I just say I'm Lindsay. I have 2 girls and an awesome husband. And Isagenix has freed me and given me a beautiful life. That's my own intro, but thank you so much for that. Any Buckeyes on the call? Anyone? No? Okay, that's cool. I love speaking about this topic, and I do. I'm very proud of the number of consultants I have, that we have in Corey's Business Center, that so many of my leaders have, because that is what builds depth into your organization. And we do absolutely go to work to overcomplicate creating consultants, but we know that that's one of the biggest keys to unlocking deeper depth in your organization, and therefore a higher income for you, and watching your work duplicate rather than you doing everything. You've got people that are doing what you're doing, and it multiplies, right? Magnifies. Why have such a big buffer of consultants? Because they ebb and flow. I mean, I wish I've kept track of how many, and I'm sure you guys too, we've created in our lifetime with Isogenics. I don't know what that number is, probably close to 60 or 70, but it's always important to have a huge buffer of active consultants so you always maintain that executive status. And that is more important now than ever with our executive lifestyle bonus. I mean, I earn $10,000 extra a year just by doing what I'm already doing because I maintain active executive rank. And to me, that's huge money. That's money that not only blesses my family, but it blesses others because I get to do some really fun stuff with income. And I know that's the heart of so many of you also. So just keep that in mind by doing the work you're already doing, but having 5 on each side, 10 active consultants, it personally enrolled, you're earning $10,000 extra every 12 months. And that's huge. Anytime Isogenics is putting money on the table, I've grabbed it. Because there's so much you can do with that. So I hope that encourages you. Now, it wouldn't be a training or a discussion with me without a PowerPoint. I'm sorry, I love them. It makes it easy for you to take notes, screenshot, whatever. I will say that I've developed a lot over time of my methodology behind creating consultants. And let me be clear, if you're newer to this organization or newer to this company, you're fumbling forward. And I don't expect you to know any of this, but I hope that you get to learn. If you've maybe been stalled with creating consultants for a while, hopefully something we talk about tonight will encourage you to make a small shift or a change to start a new chapter tomorrow in your Isogenics business and start creating more. But again, we continue to change and ebb and flow with our methodology in all aspects of this business. There's not any right or wrong. There's not perfection. There's just better ways to do things than there are not. So can everyone see that screen okay? Thumbs up. Perfect. 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 So before we even can discuss creating consultants, we have to know 3 very important points. In order to create consultants, we have to be enrolling new customers and customers in general. There might be some of us on the call that have a small handful of customers. And while that's great, and that's some income, if you're on this call, you want more depth, you want more customers in your downline, and you want more financial freedom. In order to do that, we have to be bringing new people into our organization. Now, when we first start Isogenics and we're working with our warm and hot network, enrollment sometimes can be pretty steady. But if you've been in Isogenics a year or more, give or take, you're finding that you have to create new connections. You have to truly network in order to continue enrolling new customers. Now, that's a topic for another time, but this is the most important step. And I tell everybody on my team, it's a numbers game, right? We know statistically that about 80 to 85% of the customers you enroll in Isogenics are going to remain, hopefully, happy customers for you. 5 to 10% of your customer base are going to become product sharers. These are people who enroll anywhere from 1 to 3 new customers. So they share just a person or 2. If you're lucky, they become a consultant for you, but they aren't going to take the opportunity any further than that. And then you're looking at about 2 to 5% of your customers that you enroll will go on to pursue the opportunity. But that only means enrolling 5 customers or more. We would love for our own customers to go on and enroll 10, 20, 30 and make a career out of this, like so many people on this call. So when we lay out the statistical probability that you're going to find a business builder, it's easy to see that the more you enroll, the greater your odds of creating consultants and creating and finding business partners to take you through the next seasons of your business and hopefully forever on your team. So if enrolling is where you need to focus, make that your point of focus this season during the fall. Put your blinders up and just start making connections, doing those follow-ups and truly enrolling. Now, once we enroll a new customer, the only way they're going to not only stay on the products, but want to share with others is to have an amazing product experience and to have a lot of support from you. So much of this foundational belief for me comes from building a relationship with my customers. I've been in Isogenics 6 years, September, and 6 years, July, but I actually started the products in September. That's a whole other story. And I find that all my customers I enroll now, I'm just meeting or just getting to know, or I haven't even yet met, but we've connected on social media. I have to build a relationship with them to build trust so that that they will allow me to encourage them to share with others and pursue what it means to share and help others with Isagenix or pursue the opportunity. So not only do we need to enroll new customers, but we have to be treating them extraordinarily well. I handle my business and my affairs with my customers in Isagenix, just like our corporate customer service handles those phone calls, and just like Nordstrom handles their customers, or Lululemon. Think of some of the elite brands that you love, and you know you could walk into that store with any loose thread hanging and they're going to take care of you. That's the customer service I've built within my own customers and my own team. And that will lead to longevity, high retention, probability of creating consultants, and even further still. Does that make sense? And Amanda, real quick, I want to stop myself. I first met Matt. I didn't meet you first. I met Matt, and I met Matt at New Year's Kickoff 2015. That was my first event, and I met him at the start party. And it's funny because we're both too old to be in start anymore. But 6 years ago, well, almost 6 years ago this January, I met Matt, and he had just left his full-time job. And you guys are doing Isagenix full-time together. And that was the single most inspiring thing I heard that entire event, that it was possible to do something like that and to see spouses working together. It was after that that I had the good fortune to meet you. So Matt to this day is still very responsible for creating a new vision in me at that event. And we know that event changes lives, but those people you meet at the events could very well change your life as well. So circling back, why is creating consultants hard? Oh my goodness, it's fear. We create these stories, right? This person's not going to be interested, or this person's going to be offended, or this person's going to think I'm out to get them, or they would never want to share, or worse yet, they don't have the network to be successful at this. Think of all of the stories. I'd love for you right now while I'm talking to think of a story you've told yourself about creating consultants in your customers, or sharing what it means to be a consultant, and write it down and then cross it out with the big line. You're no longer going to tell yourself that story anymore. The story you are going to tell yourself is, I can create consultants with ease. I can create consultants with ease. That is what I want your mantra to be. That is what I want your affirmation or your manifestation to be every day. I can create consultants with ease. Whatever you want it to be. It could be, everyone I enroll wants to be a consultant in Isagenix and in my organization. Whatever you want to manifest, please do it and shift that mindset from being negative and a naysayer to positive and positivity. You guys, every human I see flop in Isagenix or never rise to what they initially share with me they want to be is their level of negativity and how they brush off or naysay everything. Oh, they would never want to. Oh, they wouldn't come to that. Oh, they wouldn't. Do you guys all have someone like that in your life? Don't you wish you could just say something to them? Because I do. If you figure out how to say gracefully, point that out in another human gracefully, please tell me. But it is negativity or fear that is holding us back from creating consultants. Every customer we enroll knows two people that eat. Literally, that's all we're looking for. We're looking for two people that your customer knows that will order 100 BV or more on food that they're already buying at the grocery store. So when we simplify it, it seems pretty ordinary, right? Like that can't be that hard. The next failed attempt I see, or why creating consultants is hard, is people being too busy or not giving their customer the care, love, concern, relationship building, encouragement, positivity, that touch that only you can give your customers. I see a lot of that. I have so many people in Isagenix come to me on Instagram. Hey, can you help me? I don't have a sponsor that does X, Y, and Z. I don't have a sponsor that my sponsor doesn't do it anymore. Or my sponsor doesn't help me with my health goals or nutrition. I mean, it's a pretty common thing because there are a lot of sponsor monsters out there. It's network marketing. We're always going to have that. But I don't want that to be you. Any one of you on this call, I don't ever want that to be you. You take care of your customers and you always find the time for them. The beautiful thing about font, corresponding via text message or Facebook Messenger or Instagram DM, is it can be done at any hour of the day. It can be done at 11 p.m. It can be done at 1 p.m. when you're nursing your baby. It can be done at 4:30 in the morning when you get up for the 5 a.m. club. You can't offend anyone via font with the timing. You're not going to call someone at 4:30, but do you see that you're never too busy to take care of your customers and foster that relationship? The last is just simply not understanding our compensation plan or the money in the equation, knowing how to eloquently share with your new customer or your prospect that's going to become a customer, what our compensation plan is, or what you share looks like. You don't even have to take it to you share, they share. You could just take it to you share and teach your new customer that and see where you go from there. So those are the common holding blocks that I see and why we make creating consultants to be so hard. Now, if you want to change the growth of your business, which I know you all do because you're here giving your Sunday night to, for some of you, a stranger, for others of you, very dear friends, I want you to stop deciding who you're going to share the opportunity with and just share the opportunity with everyone. There's no pre-qualifying in Isagenix. I've had the people I least expect become my greatest business partners. I was Laura's least expected. I stood on my front porch and told Laura I wanted nothing to do with this, but I totally supported her and cheered her on. And she looked me in the face and said, Lindsay, you'd be so bad at this because you're so sensitive and you hate hearing the word no. And she was right. But a couple months time and I really changed my mind and my tune. So please don't ever prejudge. Stop deciding who needs to hear this because everybody needs to hear it. And decide right now that you're going to be consistent with the question. Your question might look different than my question. It could be, who do you know? Or do you have any one or two people in your life that you want to tackle this health journey with? It is so much more successful to do this with others. Who would that be for you? Or would you like to earn your investment? Would you like to earn your pack money back before you even finish those products in the pack? Whatever your question is, decide right now you're going to say it to everyone. I love the example Lindsay gave actually on a corporate call about a month ago about consultants. She's the queen of making consultants. And she gave the analogy of a waitress or a waiter. What is the question they always ask you after your meal? They don't feel bad about it. With 100% certainty, you know they're going to ask you. It's, would you like dessert or would you like to see a dessert menu? And why do they ask that? They ask that because it drives up their sales. It brings more money into the restaurant and it makes that tip percent ratio higher for them. They always ask that question because it's sales. And we can ask those questions too because this is sales and we want to drive up our bottom line. I love that analogy that she shared. It really resonated with me. Always have your consistent questions. Make it true to you. Maybe you guys on your team page tonight or tomorrow can throw around, start a post about what is your question, and get some good ideas from others. And remember, if you do what you've always done, you're going to have the same results that you've always had. You guys, I've listened to these calls. I've been in Isagenix 6 years. I've had seasons of, I'm already doing that, or I'm already doing it right. And I've had seasons of, give me all the new ideas and the new data because I'm yearning to grow. So I hope that if you're yearning to grow, you will take some of this to heart, make one change, make many changes, do a overhaul on how you present Isagenix to new customers and the opportunity. Whatever it may be, step back and accept that if you're not getting the results that you want, then something has to look different. And what is that going to be for you? And then lastly, understand the compensation plan. You guys, I know it takes time. It's not easy. It's not for everybody. We're not all numbers people. Physics was hard for me. But practice, practice, practice. I literally have my whiteboard. I've drawn out our compensation plan probably 200 times on that whiteboard or my old whiteboard for people and for others, for my daughters, for my husband. My girls can do it. Practice makes perfect. Don't overlook this step. If you've never done this on your own and really rhythmically figured out your wording and what packs you want to use, do that. That's the first step to getting confident in sharing with your new customers how they can earn money back so that they can be consultants for you and your organization. Now, I want to give you a little bit of perspective and proper reasoning, okay? Make sharing about Isagenix and what it means to be a consultant about your customer. Remove you and your benefits from the equation. Remove the fact that you know it's going to bring more depth into your organization. Remove the fact that it's going to bring business volume into your organization. Remove the fact that it's going to give you a $100 bonus when you make that consultant and that you're going to get to serve others. Make it about your customer. What is this going to do for your customer? Well, your customer is going to get a $100 consultant bonus if done in the first 30 days. Well, that's extraordinary. Your customer is going to earn whatever PIBs you help him or her achieve and the customers that she enrolls. Your customer is going to have the great joy of realizing what it means to share something so profound with others. Your customer is going to have a new friend in you if it's someone you don't already know. Your customer is going to have a new hope on what the side income could really mean. If they're anything like me, they'll say, wow, that was fun. How did I earn $100? I want more. Make it about your customer and you'll realize this is so much more fun. And it's so much easier when you make it about them. Help your customers see what it means to do a health journey with others and not just themselves. How many of us have done diets alone, the only person in our households? Exude what it means to have the support of others. You can even suggest that it be a friendly competition. I always suggest ideas to people. So I say to my new customer, do you have a sister or dad or mom or sister-in-law or coworker or classmate or colleague that you know would love to do this with you? Let's share more with them. So I gave that customer ideas on who could be their own customers, because otherwise, what does someone say to you? Oh, I don't know anyone. Never mind my 700 friends on Facebook and my 1,000 followers on Instagram. I don't know anyone. If you give them ideas, they're going to produce some names or at least plant that seed in their head, and that's huge. I always share with them how special it is to help others, especially if you hit a customer within the first 1 to 2 weeks and they're feeling extraordinary. They've been through their first double cleanse day. They're on cloud 9. They've swallowed that rainbow. And you say, who do you want to bless with this? Who do you want to feel as good as you feel now? They're going to give you some names and they're going to be open to that idea. Okay, and then emphasize how much you want them getting their products for. Say, I know that the number one reason customers stop these products is because of finances, and I never want that to be the reason that you stop using these life-changing products. We need to get your products paid for. Here is how. I have used that line and that sequence with so many customers. And again, a lot of these customers, you guys, might be consultants in and out for you. They might be consultants for 1 week of the month or once every other month or whatever. But the bottom line is you've done your part in showing them what side money means with Isagenix. And once, we'll see on the next slide, once you help earn them a little bit of money back, they're statistically proven to be a customer for a longer period of time for you. Okay, so the goal is to create consultants, and in that process, create your 10 or more that are going to stay consultants. Does that make sense? So a few key words. I never want you to use the word business. Nobody has time for a new business. Not even the newly fresh stay-at-home mom who's doing full distance learning in this pandemic doesn't have time to start a new business. That's a worse word you could use. I always use the word opportunity, because that's what it is. You get to make of it what you want. It is an opportunity. Can I share more about our opportunity? My favorite product we have at Isagenix is actually the opportunity. I love that word. If you have another word that you use, please share it in the chat box. Do never ever use the word recruit. Don't say to your customer, hey, we're going to recruit a couple of your friends and help you earn money back. Or, hey, we're going to sell to a couple of your friends. Nobody wants that. That's like nails on a chalkboard. That's what gives network marketing such a bad name. So share is a great one, or I would love to help you encourage and find a couple people rather than recruit, okay? Focusing on the sharing, of course. And I literally say to people, sharing is being a good person. Sharing is being a nice person. Think of all the things you've shared this week. Can you name them off for me? And they'll, name off a restaurant or their favorite jeans or their favorite energy drink, whatever it might be. So you can always have really fun dialogue with your customers. Again, this is another block in building your relationship with them. And then I love using the word eat for free or the eat for free club. I really do love that, but figure out what that means for you. If you tell somebody that they're going to eat for free, what do you follow that up with? How many customers really would allow them to earn $150 a month minimum for them to get their products paid for? What does that look like? That's not just enrolling 2 customers. That's more like enrolling 4 or becoming a manager in Isagenix, right? So know what you're going to follow that up with before you use the term eat for free. My organization, for better or worse, is built upon the premium pack. I never go lower than that, but I'm not as high of a percentage of the value pack as I wish I were. But so I use my numbers and I help people eat for free based upon the premium pack. But just know what you're doing and what you're using and what that would take before you say that to your own customers, okay? So this is one of my favorite statistics from Eric Worre. If you earn a customer $1 or more, their retention rate increases to 90% for an entire year. Do you want your customers ordering Isagenix for an entire year or more? Heck yes, that is business volume. That is a residual income that's changing your life. So we always want to help our customers see the money so that they can go on to take those next steps. If Laura never helped me see the money, this would never be my story. And I'd still be stuck behind that slit lamp with tons of PPE and COVID, trying to see patients and missing my kids terribly. So understand that showing someone the money, even if it's a $25 PIB, can change the rest of their life. Like, let that sink in, and don't ever be the person to take that opportunity from them before they even know. Okay. We know that retention and loyalty comes from compensation. And so we want to get our people compensated. And this was a couple years ago. Gosh, we still lived in Portland. So this would have been 4 years ago or more. We lived in Reno for 4 years. I did a monkey survey, and this was my husband's idea, Corey's idea, actually. And I sent out the monkey survey to all of my, or survey monkey? I always say that wrong. Anyway, we sent out a list of 5 or 6 questions to my customers that were no longer ordering. So the customers that had a 0 BV in the last 30 days. And the most profound question was, why did you stop ordering Isagenix, or why did you discontinue the products? 100% of the responses to that was, I couldn't afford them. It was because of money. It was not because they didn't like the products. It was not because they didn't change their life or transform. 100% of all of those answers said it was because they couldn't afford it. And that was my rude awakening, that I needed to get my people paid. Like, that was it. I went on 2 months later to create my husband's account to be a Crystal executive with consultants of his own during a Crystal reset that we had in Isagenix. So when I say that hit home, I got to work to getting all of my customers paid to some degree, because I never want money to be the reason that they stop pursuing this level of health and longevity. So again, understand your role that you may not even know that you've had in their long-term health journeys outside of just the product usage. Okay, so a few reminders. This is just for new associates that are joining us. Your customers have to be an associate before they enroll those 2 people. If you make the oopsie mistake and they're still a customer and they enroll their 2 people as a customer, they will be on one side of their tree. If you activate that account as an associate, by the end of that day, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it will generate and it'll all work itself out. If you forget and it's days or even weeks later, then you've got to go through customer service and get that one customer have a placement switch on the tree. So it's way better to be safe than sorry. I literally have the instructions on how to become an associate saved in the notes section of my phone. I can cut and paste and fire that off to every single customer when they're ready to enroll their first new customer. Okay, so have that information at the ready. Don't expect anybody to understand or even know that that is a thing on their own. Your customer needs to have a 100 BV order or more. If I have a customer that has ordered less than 100 BV say to me, hey, I've got, my mom wants to start the products. Oh my gosh, what do I need to do? Can you help? I said, well, the first thing you need to do is have an active account. Otherwise, it doesn't necessarily benefit you or serve you to enroll your mom. So let's talk about what additional products you can order. Or I say, if you're not going to, continue with this type of product usage, then I would be honored to take that referral and personally enroll and support that customer, which it's about 75% to 25% how that plays out, but I give them their options. Okay, we know that you need to have one customer on each side for someone to be a consultant. Customer service will always help with that. There is definitely a timestamp with that. So this is a word of advice to leaders. When I have a new associate who has enrolled one customer, which I handhold entirely through that process, I'll speak to that in a minute, enroll their second one without telling me or not saying anything, I always log in immediately to see what side of the tree they enrolled that second customer on, because more times than not, it's on the same side and we need to call customer service and fix it. I promise that fix is a lot easier when you do it within the first 1 to 2 days. It becomes pretty sticky down the road. So I always double check my new associates and just make sure that they're understanding and doing it right. Important step in leadership. Now, sharing with two people in Isogenics, your customer sharing with two people to become a consultant does not mean that they've started the business. And this is important for a couple reasons. A, do not have your expectations that they're going to go become your next six-figure earner and 3-star golden circle. Okay. They've enrolled two people. It's exciting. You want to support them, but bring down your expectations a little bit. Focus on the excitement of having a new consultant, the bonus you got, the bonus that your new consultant got, and then see where you're going to go from there. But do not get your expectations and your bubble burst. It's the worst. I've been there. I've lived in that spot. Let's be reasonable, but also understand that your customer who has shared with two people probably yet doesn't have this grand idea that they're going to pursue the business and become your next six-figure earner in Isogenics, right? So we don't want to overwhelm. So find that balance line, but just know, and again, this is an example from Lindsay Wine. She said, would Target still be in business if they only had 2 customers? No. So again, have your expectations down, but understand the viewpoint of the customer, sorry, not patient, of the customer. And they're like, I share with 2 people. That was fun. They don't have this big savvy business hat on yet, unless they've expressed that to you. Okay. I want you to vision cast for them. You can screenshot this or take a screen capture. These are some great lines that I use very regularly. I try very hard to have phone calls or voice memo chats at the very least, or Marco Polos with my new customers, because I like this to come out in voice rather than font. But these lines, I'm not going to read through them, are very helpful. And I could say them in my sleep, standing upside down on my head in 20-degree weather outside. So get very familiar and comfortable with the lines that you share in the points that you're trying to make. Okay. Now, when it comes to referrals are huge, and there's different ways to handle referrals. When I have a new customer say that they have a referral for me, my first and only step initially is to encourage them to become an associate so that we can enroll that customer by themselves. And I share with them, you plus 2. That's it. Because generally, if a customer is giving you a referral, they really have no interest in doing the business yet. So I want to make the process as easily as possible. This, what I have right here, I cut and paste and is in every single welcome email I send every customer. It lays out exactly referral management, what the options are, and for them to be open and listen for those referrals, because I would love them, or I would love them for that new customer. So this referral management goes in every single welcome email. Again, feel free to use that. Verbally, though, it's important to mention this verbally, right? A lot of people don't read emails, and your heart and your conviction behind what you're trying to say comes out in voice. It doesn't come out in font. So I not only mention referrals in my welcome email, I mention referrals as we're talking, as we're on opening their box, as we're deciding on what packs they're going to order, whatever sequence it may be that this fits comfortably in for you. I try to bring this up 2 times in my initial conversation with the person, and after their first 2-day cleanse. I still am a huge believer in 2-day cleanses, so I try to stress that versus the 1 day. When someone's starting their first 30 days, when they're high on life and have swallowed that rainbow, I mention this again. So again, find what works well for you, but make it known that there is room for more in your life, in your heart, in your organization, in your ability to coach and take care of customers. Your customers don't know what they don't know. Because I walk around with my Isogenics hat. I told my team today when I made some Canva images for Instagram about our promotion right now, I said, please share this. Your customers do not know what they don't know. And I walk around with that hat constantly. You cannot assume your customers know to give you referrals or know how to enroll new people. You cannot assume that your current customers know about any of our promotions. You cannot assume that your customers know that for free, they can open up their Isogenics associate account and start building a business. Always walk around with that lens. It will help you re-educate and re-educate and re-educate constantly, which is one of the secrets of success in any business, right? Taking away that assumptions and knowing that if you don't tell them, they're never going to know. And this goes down to building a consultant. I've never had a consultant build themselves on their own. I handhold through every aspect. Right before we got on this call, I walked a new associate. She's a couple levels deep, but a new associate I'm working with that has her first 2 enrollments tonight. And I walked her through the entire process. You have to handhold and be there constantly for them to become a consultant. Once I have an associate become a consultant, I really encourage them to start working through things on their own, right? But please know, you can't expect it to whimsically happen. It simply won't. That's not the nature of this business, okay? I want you to close your eyes for a minute and think and imagine, what if right now every customer you've ever enrolled in Isagenix became a consultant? What would your business look like? What would your cycles look like? What would your income look like? And believe me when I say this is possible. It's possible for every enrollment that you have to become a consultant. It is a lot harder for them to always stay a consultant. I get that for reasons we've discussed. But there isn't a reason in this world that every customer won't not be a consultant for you at one point or another or long term. Imagine what your organization would look like. At least triple your downline number, first of all, and imagine triple the business volume that comes through your organization each week and each month. At a minimum, that's what your business would look like. And that is worth being bold, being brave, being courageous, being willing to change your way, being willing to try something new or recognize that maybe what you're doing isn't working anymore. That what if is worth all of that and more. And that's what I hope you can sleep on and think about tonight. With really, truly creating consultants, your organization will grow. I want you to be so excited about the potential of that and what that could mean. You might unlock some of the most remarkable business builders in your life, in your organization. One of my business builders I work with is my 12 PET. Doesn't matter, that business volume flows all the way up. I don't care where they are in my organization, as long as they want it, they're coachable, and I get the privilege of helping them. It's not who you know. It's who the next person knows, or the next person, or the next person. We know that the richest people in the world build networks, not just relationships, but networks. And that's going to get the depth and the consultants in your organization that you want so badly. So I always like to leave calls with action items. I'm sorry if we've run over. Where are we at for time? I'll wrap it up. I want you to commit 100% to sharing this opportunity with every single customer you enroll. I want you to always talk about getting their investment back by the end of that first month. Find your rhythm, find your words, talk it out with friends, business partners, colleagues, your spouse, your children. Talk it out. What does that conversation look like? I want you to fake it till you make it. Act confident. Because I was 24 years old when I graduated with my doctorate and started seeing patients on my own. You think that person in that chair wanted to trust a small child with all of their vision needs and eye diseases? I had to fake it so hard until I was comfortable in that exam room. And I did, because that's what creates true success. I don't care how unconfident you are with all of this, practice will bring you there. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Always remember that. But how you present yourself, the confidence to which you say this, and the conviction in your voice is what will grow your organization. Memorize, you share, they share. Know those numbers, upside down, sideways, backwards. Say it out loud. Get a whiteboard if you don't have it yet. This is my biggest asset on Zoom calls with new business partners or customers that want to know more. Okay, and make it your standard to turn every customer into a consultant. Like non-negotiable, like that's just what you do. Oh, I have a new customer today. Awesome, they're going to be a consultant in their first 30 days or less. Like just make it your standard, make it a thing, manifest it, affirm it, write it out every day. My challenge for you is to reach out to all of your customers you've never shared the opportunity with and say this: hi, gosh, at the time I helped you start an Isagenix, I didn't tell you that there's an opportunity attached, or that you can get your products for free, or I didn't understand the power of it till now. Can I share more with you? Are you open? Can we meet? Can I send you a video? Again, make this wording your own, but do it and see what happens to your organization in the next 2 to 4 weeks. Ask them, would this be something you're interested in? That question never hurt anyone, ever. That's not pressure filled. That's not weird. That's not going to ruin a friendship. Just, is this something you'd be interested in? And for the love, consider the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is they say no or they ghost you. Well, if they're already using the products, just keep loving on them, right? The worst case scenario isn't that bad. But what's the best case scenario? That you get to take your family on a vacation, that you get to buy the motorhome that you want, that you get to pay off that credit card debt, that you take your family to froyo for once, that you surprise your husband with a gift that you bought, not your joint bank account, that you get out of that exam room and into the arms of your little girls because it's what you want. Think of the best case scenario for me and write it down. That's what I want you looking at every time you're on the phone with a new customer. That's what I want you looking at when you ask them if they're interested in learning how to eat for free. Don't overcomplicate this and understand the reasons why you're doing it. And I want to hear your success in creating consultants these next couple months. I sincerely hope and pray it makes a difference in your organization, in your life, in your goals, in your dreams, in your future, in your home. That's what I hope for you. You guys are in the best of hands with Matt and Amanda. I can't tell you how highly I think about them and what incredible friends they are. Thank you so much for your time tonight. I'm sorry I went over. I can never just talk for 30 minutes. But is there any questions?
So our only comment, I guess, was if we could please get your note to help someone turn associate.
Oh, sure. Of course.
Yeah, we would love
I'll just send you the PowerPoint. You can do whatever.
Your verbiage is always amazing. So thank you for that.
Of course. Any questions?
Christy Fleischauer, do you have to stop?
Oh, bless you. Oh, I talk a lot. It's not a great quality. Sorry, guys. I'm also very loud, which makes mask wearing very easy for me. Thank you, Amanda. But truly, if there's any questions, y'all can always message me on Instagram or Facebook too, of course.
Yeah, I will definitely reach out. I just wanted to say thank you again. I know you just got home from vacation. I know you were running around like a crazy mom today, trying to get your family back in order before you're back to school tomorrow after your fall break. And we all know what that is like. So thank you for squeezing us in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys. You all are beautiful, and truly, to your success, keep me posted.